St. Peter quotes the prophet Joel throughout all of his testimony. And that testimony of St. Peter is that God's Spirit enables every one of us to dream. So Pentecost 2015 is about what? It's about us, and it provides us a season to dream. Isn't it strange, though, how our songs speak of dreaming? The scriptures and our prayers tell us to continue dreaming for the future and creating a new future. Even in the Old Testament, Joseph, remember the one with the technicolor dream coat, was called the master dreamer. And yet, in the church, in our church particularly, most of us spend most of our time fearful or afraid to allow the uncertainty of the future to happen. And we hold back. We just hold back. And then maybe we say, well, maybe dreaming is just for kids, not responsible adults. And yet the prophet Joel says, young and old, male and female will have visions and dreams. Maybe we need to question our assumptions of life. The assumptions of our community, of how we live out our life as the body of Christ, as how we live as a church. And maybe we need to relearn to think like a child. Recognizing that innovation doesn't come from those who say we can't. Sometimes the things that everyone knows needs to be questioned by the dreamers. Seeing the possibilities that we can't even see or haven't been willing to see in terms of our life, our community life, our church, throughout the world. Then I think there's others that are afraid to dream. They're afraid it will divide us. We better not say anything, or whose dream is better. And yet the Lord tells us there's one Spirit, and each of us has a role to play. And we need to remember that the Spirit of Pentecost never promised to make it easy. Christianity isn't easy. Living a Christian life day by day in a way of life isn't easy. The tongues of fire that came down upon the apostles to set their hearts on fire don't bring comfort. Although many times we say that the tongues of fire and the Spirit of God is to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. Then I think we're afraid sometimes that we're going to be disappointed. So we better stick to the status quo. Then we won't be surprised by how things work out. Dreaming, after all, gets our hopes up. So why forgive? Why share good news? Why work for the welfare of the community? Why give strength and hope to the weak? Why do we put our heart into anything, into the dreams and visions of the community? We might fail. And if we fail, boy, what would happen? It's a possibility. But isn't the risk better than being paralyzed by fear? God seems to have a way of surprising even what looks like the most utter failure. We need to believe that power. Our imaginations need to be set loose. We need to be able to see beyond that this is the way it is, and get ready for the Spirit to set us on fire. I want to end today with the story. It's called The Tale of Three Trees. Each tree had its own dream of what it would become. The first dreamed of being a beautiful treasure chest filled with precious stones. And the second dreamed of becoming a strong sailing ship. The third dreamed of being the tallest tree in the world, pointing the way to God. When dreams come true, they're not exactly what we suspect. The tree that dreamed of being a treasure chest became instead a manger, the manger in which the baby Jesus was laid when he was born. The second tree didn't become a magnificent sailing ship, but a small fishing boat on the Sea of Galilee, the boat that carried Jesus and his disciples across the lake in the midst of a terrible storm. And the third tree that wanted to be the tallest tree in the world and point the way to God became instead the cross which points the way to the unconditional love of God for each of us. Each tree had its dream, and the dream was fulfilled, but not in the way that was expected.